Was Hope Logan's traitor move just a desperate act of survival? Or was it the ultimate betrayal that's finally going to shatter the Forrester dynasty for good? We've watched the lines get blurred for years. But honestly, the latest power moves at Forrester Creations feel different. It doesn't feel like a soap opera anymore. It feels like a corporate execution. Seriously, think about it. Is this really just about business? Or is something way deeper and darker going on in those hallways? Let's look at the vibe at Forrester right now. It has shifted. It went from high fashion to high-stakes psychological warfare in the blink of an eye. For months now, Hope Logan has been backed into a corner. She's had to sit there and watch her legacy, hope for the future, be systematically ripped apart. And who's doing it? Steffy Forrester. She's doing it under the guise of business necessity. Steffy claims they need to pivot to couture to honor Eric. But let's be real here. Does this feel like business to you? Or does it feel like a personal vendetta wrapped up in a silk ribbon? This didn't just happen because of some bad sales numbers. It happened because the power balance in that building is completely broken. Steffy is using her job as co-CEO to basically gaslight Hope. She wants Hope to think her work doesn't matter anymore. By pausing the line, Steffy isn't just saving money. She's trying to starve Hope of her identity. Have you ever felt like someone was trying to erase you at your own job? That's exactly what's happening here. Now we have to talk about that unhinged bid for control. You know the one. Hope and Carter went totally rogue. They launched a plan to take the company. People are calling them villains. They try to trick Ridge and Steffy into signing over the whole thing using an LLC scheme. It sounds crazy, right? But why did they do it? Hope acted out of a huge sense of being replaced. She's been a loyal soldier for years. But at the end of the day, that family still looks at her like an outsider. And then there's Carter. He's the trusted friend, but he felt like his dreams were being smothered. He wanted a global luxury brand. The Forresters just wanted to stay small and safe. So, did they want power? Sure. But mostly, they wanted to stop asking for permission to exist in their own office. Imagine working your heart out and still being told you don't belong. It would push anyone to the edge, wouldn't it? Think about the internal struggle Hope is going through. She's drowning. She rejected Thomas. She lost her lead designer, and suddenly she has no anchor. When she said no to Thomas, she lost her Forrester protection. That's what started this whole mess. It left her wide open for Steffy's resentment to finally boil over. I'm looking at this as a second-class citizen revolt. On the outside, it looks like a corporate coup. But underneath? It's about the Step Forresters realizing they will never be real Forresters. No matter how many dresses Hope sells, her name isn't on the building. That psychological weight finally snapped her. It pushed her to commit actual fraud just to feel like an equal. Do you think she was right to go that far? Or did she cross a line she can never come back from? I have to say, I don't agree with people calling the Forresters victims here. Sure, stealing a company is legally wrong. But the way the Forresters have stolen Hope's dignity, that's worse. You can't treat people like they're expendable and then act shocked when they stop being loyal. It's classic hurt people hurting people. Hope's ego was crushed. Carter's pride was wounded. They got into this dangerous echo chamber together. And suddenly, a crazy plan started to sound like the only way out. Now, everything is shifting toward the Logan fashion house. Liam has been in Hope's ear constantly. He's telling her she's a star and doesn't need the Forresters. This is a massive change for the show. Why is Liam doing this? Well, he wants her away from the Forresters. And he definitely wants her away from Finn. It's a calculated move. He wants to isolate her and put her somewhere where she is the undisputed queen. Katie is all for it. She's ready to welcome Hope with open arms. But Donna? Donna is absolutely terrified. She sees the Logan sisters, who used to be unbreakable, splitting into different camps. Brooke is stuck right in the middle. She wants peace with Ridge, but her daughter and sister are ready to burn the whole bridge down. Can a family survive that kind of tension? This isn't just about a job. It's about Hope taking back her name. For years, the Forresters have used Logan like it was a dirty word. They used it to mean someone was trashy or just looking for a way in. By starting a line under the Logan name, Hope is trying to flip that script. She's turning that insult into a luxury brand. I honestly think it's the smartest thing she's done in years. Why stay in a house where the doors are always locked against you? But I do think Katie is being a little reckless. She's so focused on beating the Forresters that she might sacrifice her own family's peace to do it. It feels like Katie has a bit of a middle sister complex. She's tired of just working there, while Brooke gets all the fame. Bringing Hope over gives Katie the face she needs to finally rival the Forrester prestige. It's a power grab, let's call it what it is. It's just disguised as family support. And then the bombshell. The one thing no one saw coming. Liam Spencer has an inoperable brain tumor. This changes the entire game. Suddenly, the traitor storyline just stops. Steffy was ready to destroy Hope. But then, she's sharing a hug with her. This crisis is doing what business never could. It's forcing a united front. Hope is in total panic mode. Her feelings for Liam have always been a mess, but finding out he's dying? It strips everything else away. The corporate anger, the hope for the future, drama, none of it matters anymore. The only thing that's real is the trauma of that diagnosis. It's the great equalizer. These women have been fighting over silk and titles for months. Now, they're just two mothers trying to protect their kids' world. Isn't it ironic that Steffy is the one who told her? Liam didn't want Hope to know. He didn't want to be a burden. But Steffy decided she deserved to know. Was that a kind move? Or was it just another way for Steffy to be the one in charge of the story? Liam is terrified of people's lives revolving around his death. He wants his legacy to be about his life. But Steffy couldn't carry that secret alone. She forced it onto Hope because she needed someone to share the weight. It's a heavy psychological burden to place on your rival, don't you think? But don't think for a second that things are getting peaceful. The conflict is actually about to get way worse. Spoilers say Steffy isn't actually stopping her revenge tour. Even while she's mourning Liam, she might be planning to relaunch Hope for the future, without Hope. Can you imagine that? It would be the ultimate dirty move. Steffy is a scorched earth kind of person. If she labels Hope a traitor, she feels she has the right to use Hope's own creation against her. She wants to prove that the brand is bigger than the woman who made it. It's about putting Hope back in her place. Steffy is tired of Hope demanding answers. In her eyes, Hope is just an employee who forgot her rank. This is basically identity theft as a business plan. Hope is hope for the future. If Steffy takes that name and gives it to someone like Elector Forrester, she's performing a corporate exorcism on Hope. But I think it's going to backfire. The fashion world knows that line is built on Hope's identity. Relaunching it with a new face is going to look like a cheap knockoff. Don't you agree? Steffy is acting out of insecurity, but she's calling it power. If she were really confident, she wouldn't need to play this dirty. The fact that she's doing this shows she still sees Hope as a massive threat. And Donna was right. If this keeps up, there won't be anything left to salvage. Donna is the heart of that family, and she's watching it break. She's seeing her sisters choose a business fight over their own bond. It's a generational shift. Brooke represents the old way, trying to please the Forrester men to stay at the table. But Hope? She's building her own table. Hope is definitely using her mother as a pawn, though. She's pushing Brooke to demand co-CEO status. If Brooke gets that seat, Steffy gets demoted. It's a tactical move. Hope can't beat Steffy on her own, so she's trying to use her mom's influence to do it. Brooke is terrified. She knows this could end her marriage with Ridge. Her need for peace is crashing right into her daughter's need for power. Hope is projecting all her own anger onto Brooke. She needs her mom to be the big bad Logan the Forresters are so afraid of. It's a psychological transfer of ambition. And Carter? He's the only one seeing the big picture. He knows this traitor talk is going to cause a domino effect. It's going to mess up contracts, personal lives, and the whole company's bottom line. Carter is the canary in the coal mine. If he's warning you about consequences, you better listen. But Ridge and Steffy are just ignoring him. They're so blinded by their own ego that they can't see the explosion coming. Carter is stuck in this weird place. He loves them as friends, but he hates them as bosses. That makes him dangerous because you never know which version of him you're going to get. And we can't forget the guys in the background. Liam is pushing the exit because it helps his home life. He wants Hope away from the Forresters and specifically away from Finn. Finn is the silent victim in all of this. Every time Hope and Steffy fight, he's the one caught in the crossfire. His friendship with Hope is basically dead now. Liam has a major savior complex. He wants to save Hope from the mean Forresters. It makes him feel important in her life. But is he really helping her? Or is he just encouraging her to run away from a fight she could have won? This whole situation is going to lead to a total meltdown. I'm predicting a massive legal war. Hope will try to start her Logan line, and Steffy is going to sue her. She'll claim that the Hope name belongs to Forrester. It's going to be a courtroom drama that pits the Spencers and Logans against the Forresters in a way we haven't seen in decades. And Liam's diagnosis is going to make it all so much more complicated. If he leaves his influence at Spencer to Hope, she could become a powerhouse that rivals Ridge himself. The traitor label is just a defense mechanism for the Forresters. If they can call her a traitor, they don't have to admit they were bad bosses who drove her away. They talk about loyalty, but look at how they've treated people. They sidelined Deke, they ignored Carter, and they told Hope her work was worthless. You can't set someone's house on fire and then call them a traitor when they run for help. It's so hypocritical, isn't it? They're gatekeeping the family name. They use it as a weapon to keep everyone else in their place. Hope leaving threatens that hierarchy. That's why they're reacting so violently. It's the sunk cost fallacy. The Logans have put so much into Forrester that they feel like they can't leave without winning. But sometimes the only way to win is to stop playing their game and start your own. We're looking at a future where Logan and Forrester are no longer partners. They're going to be two warring states. The contract issues are going to lead to a huge cliffhanger. Hope might even be barred from designing anything for a whole year. Imagine that, her creative life just put on hold by a piece of paper. It might force her to find a loophole involving her dad, Deacon, and the darker side of the fashion world. So, what do you think? Is Hope really a traitor for leaving? Or is she finally just standing up for herself after being pushed around for years? And if Steffy actually goes through with it and relaunches Hope for the future with a different face, are you still going to watch? Or is that line dead the second Hope walks out the door? There is so much happening, and with Liam's health hanging over everyone, the stakes have never been more personal. This battle is just getting started. Will the Logans finally take the throne? Or will Steffy's dirty move be the end of Hope's career? I want to hear your theories. Are you Team Logan or Team Forrester? This is getting intense, and I'm going to be right here tracking every spoiler and every betrayal as it happens. If you want to stay in the loop on all the drama, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And seriously, comment below. I read all of them, and I want to know whose side you're on in this corporate war. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. You think Hope should stand up for herself and leave? Honestly, you are not alone in that. In fact, that is the exact conversation happening in the fandom right now because we have watched Hope Logan be backed into a corner for months. It is one thing to have a bad quarter in business, but what we are seeing at Forrester Creations is something much more personal and, frankly, a bit cruel. When you look at the way Steffy has handled this entire situation, it really makes you wonder if it was ever about the numbers at all. Or was it always about putting a Logan in her place? Listen, the vibe at Forrester has officially crossed over from professional to toxic workplace. Hope has spent years giving her heart and soul to that company, building hope for the future from a tiny teen line back in 2010 into a mainstay for the brand. But lately, she has been treated like she is just taking up space. Steffy keeps talking about how they need to focus on couture to honor Eric, but let's be real here. Hope's line was a moneymaker for years. For Steffy to just pull the plug and pause it indefinitely, that isn't a business pivot. That is a corporate execution. It is Steffy using her power to strip Hope of her professional identity. Think about the psychological toll that takes on a person. Hope is being told her vision doesn't matter, her hard work doesn't matter, and her brother Deke's talent doesn't matter. Deke is a fresh graduate from fashion school, full of ideas for an urban, modern shift, but he was sidelined before he could even start.
Why?
Because at Forrester, the name on the building will always matter more than the talent in the room. It is no wonder Hope is looking at the door. If you are being told every day that your family name makes you a second-class citizen in your own office, wouldn't you want to walk out too? The funny thing is, the Forresters are already calling her a traitor just for thinking about leaving. It is such a wild way to frame it. You can't set someone's career on fire and then call them disloyal when they run toward the nearest exit. Ridge and Steffy seem to think that Hope owes them her life because they gave her a job, but they forget that she has earned her place there 10 times over. By calling her a traitor, they're trying to gaslight her into staying in a role where she is miserable. It is a classic move to maintain control. If they can make her feel guilty for leaving, they don't have to face the fact that they're the ones who drove her away. And then there is the Liam of it all. Liam is the one who really planted the seed, telling Hope she should just go and work with her Aunt Katie at Logan. He thinks it would give her the freedom she has been missing. And on paper, he is right. At Logan, she wouldn't have to answer to Steffy or Ridge anymore. She could take her own name, Hope Logan, and turn it into a brand that rivals the Forresters. She is hope for the future, after all. Even if she can't take the name of the line because of her contract, she is the face of that movement. People buy those clothes because of her message, not because of the Forrester label. But this move is not without its risks, and that is where the real drama starts. Donna is already panicking because she sees how this is going to tear the Logan family apart. If Hope leaves to join the competition, it is going to start a massive war between the sisters. Brooke is stuck in the middle, trying to keep the peace with Ridge, while her daughter is ready to burn the bridge down. It is a heartbreaking position for Brooke. She wants to support her daughter, but she knows that if she does, her marriage might be the collateral damage. Hope is actually pushing her mom to fight for the co-CEO chair, telling her to go after what she deserves. It's about time someone told Brooke that. She has earned that spot, but she is so afraid of rocking the boat that she just lets Steffy run the show. Can we talk about that for a second? The power dynamic between Steffy and Brooke is so skewed. Hope is right. Why is Steffy the one holding all the authority while Brooke, who has been there for decades, is sidelined? Hope is basically using her own exit as a way to force her mom into a leadership role. It is a smart move, but it is also a dangerous one. If Brooke doesn't step up and Hope leaves anyway, the Logans are going to be completely fractured. Donna is worried there won't be anything left to salvage. And honestly, she might be right. Then, just as Hope is getting ready to make her big move, the show drops the most devastating bomb possible. Liam has an inoperable brain tumor, and his days are numbered. This changes everything. Suddenly, the corporate war feels so small compared to the reality of Beth's father dying. The way Steffy broke the news to Hope was actually quite moving. Their differences just melted away in that moment, and they even shared a hug. It was a rare moment of genuine human connection between two women who usually want to claw each other's eyes out.